Thank you. So, good afternoon and welcome everyone. This is Manish Nath from Hexstar Universe, and I am going to be your host for this session. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today. Now, moving on to our live session for today. Today, we have a really empowering topic to discuss, which is women in STEM and space architecture. And today, to enrich us on this topic, we have none other than Ms. Elif Keve with us. And I don't think anyone would be more apt than her to speak on this topic. She is a space architect, sustainable building engineer, an architect and designer, and also the founder of Outer Space Architects. We are really glad to have her here with us today. So without any further ado, I'd like to request Ms. Elif to proceed to this session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for your introduction. I will share my screen now.
Sure.
Oh, it will be better if you can mute. Because there is a noise. Oh, yeah, there is some. Okay, it's great now. Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about women in STEM and space, and then we'll talk about space architecture. Initially, I want to start with introduction of few books. Actually, do you believe that if women were like the women of today? Actually, in the beginning of the history, women were like a man and has muscles and going to hunting, but everything changed after humankind to settle in houses and settle in a place, actually. But these books giving more details about how women get evaluation in their body and their life and physical abilities. And this everything actually affected their development and improvement in education in every step. Talking about this thing is really deep, and I don't believe that today will be enough for discussing on this, because it's a very old history. What happened from the beginning until now made us the women of today. You know about the middle-aged women, the 20th centuries, what happened in the dark age of the Christianity, that women are killed just because they are counted as witches. And in the territory of other places, they are always blocked in the education. And I will talk about a lot of stories, how they challenged and how they improved, and many of them failed actually because of the territory and the culture and religion, and they are even the first step parents, relatives. And I am one of them. I will give more detail about my story as well. When we say scientist, you remember these names, like Sir Isaac Newton, Einstein, Edison, and Kepler, Mitchell Faraday, Galileo, and Darwin, and Carl Sagan, Stephen Hawking. You even know these two guys, maybe the new generation scientists, Professor Tyson, Neil Tyson, and with Bill Nye. And maybe you don't know this name. He is my favorite one. Actually, I am very considering about the names who are very hidden, but did many things. He is Giordano Bruno, Italian, and he had killed because of his mind, as he said that the Earth is returning around the sun. The sun is not returning around the Earth. So we are not the center of the universe. We are not the middle. Everything is not returning around the Earth. So this is kind of his reason that he had prisoned for many years. He couldn't develop his works, and he had burned by a church. And still, we know other names. Nikola Tesla is one of another my favorite name, and he was a hidden treasure. But finally we get to know more about him, and finally we learn a lot that he has a lot of research and works in mechanical, technical, and even these previous old scientists, some scientists had benefit from his works. And of course we know this man, Einstein. But why do we know only man when we say science? We know these all the time we hear about these names. But where are the women when we think in this case? And you know Einstein, but you don't know these women perhaps. I want to ask you actually, who know the name of this woman in the left? You can write on the chat, or you can open your audio and say the name, whatever you want to do. I want to hear actually at least one person can know the name of this woman. If not, it's a really disappointment for me. Yes, I will be waiting for a few seconds if you can write her name, but don't Google it. Just if you remember. Okay. I will just count 5, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No one? Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a sad story if you don't know. And she is Mileva Merrick Einstein. I didn't want to highlight her surname, which she took from Albert Einstein. She is a really forgotten life of the first wife of the Einstein. Mileva Merrick was born in Serbia in 1975, and Albert and Mileva, both of them are admitted to the physics and mathematics. And even from a lot of works of Einstein, he got support, and he used the works of Mileva, his wife. Both of them were students in Polytechnic Institute of Zurich. It's called ETH now. I had visited this school, and it was really inspiring me to see all of the places they were hanging together. And both of them became inseparably, spending countless hours studying together. And she attended only a few lectures, preparing study at home, pardon the Einstein. And Mileva was more organized and working hard. And she helped him to and guided Einstein for his works, because she's very well organized and working hard. And but even though she was they were with the same grade when they are graduated, but she had many problems, as she was the only woman at the school and in the classroom, and she was a top student in mathematics, and he got over top scores in. But lastly, with their love story, with her love story with Einstein, failed her, I believe, and her destiny changed abruptly, and she became pregnant. And but Albert Einstein didn't want to marry because of his unemployment, and he was also challenging for his life. But this situation made her failed, I believe. She could be one of the best until she graduated, but she had always problems with the professors about getting her degree even, and she couldn't finally got her degree at the university. And then Hypatia is very inspiring woman for me, and she is one of the other women had worked and developed many things, and finally her story was failed, as she was she was killed on the street by men. Hypatia lived in between 370 to 415. She was a Greek philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer. She taught philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy at the Library of Alexandria. And Hypatia was a member of the mathematical tradition of Academy of Athens, led by August. Hypatia tried to explain with logic, mathematics, and experiments. And she was unfortunately was seen as an ally of the governor Orestes, and this led to her death. In March 415, a mob of Christian Babylon attacked her in the street and killed. And in this time, by the governors, she was counted like non-believer, and she says that I believe science, I believe philosophy and thinking and science. That's made her to be killed by the governor. And Mary Crew. I don't know if you really know a few of these names. Actually, these are top names of women doing science and getting a lot of Nobel Prizes. And she's the one who got a Nobel Prize in physics and Nobel Prize in chemistry. And also, she has two daughters, and one of them also getting Nobel Prize in chemistry, and the other daughter getting the Nobel Prize of peace. And she's a Polish woman working in chemist and physics. She lived in 1867 to 1934, and as you see here, she got the two important Nobel Prize in two different fields for her work on the radioactivity. She discovered radioactivity as a result of the experiments with uranium, and also found the radioactive property of thorium and decomposed the element of radium. And this woman is also one of the hidden women. When I researched about them, learned about them, I even couldn't find any clear picture. Some of them I couldn't find a picture, found some drawing. And because they're very old women of old history. And she is English mathematician and writer, and she is mainly known for her work on Charles Babbage's early mechanical general purpose computer analytical engine. Her notes on the engine include the first algorithm written to be processed by a machine. For the reason, it is generally accepted that she was the first computer programmer in the world. And we have, honestly, tons of the women in science and STEM. I cannot explain all of them. I cannot read all of them. I cannot tell, because just telling what they did is not enough to give the importance of their work. And I'm just trying aware of this. And she's Mary Mitchell, and American astronomer who discovered a comet, also known as a Miss Mitchell's comet, with the help of a telescope in 1847. And Mary Somerville was a science writer and a polymath. Somerville, who was one of the first two female members to be accepted into the Royal Astronomical Society, with Caroline Herschel for her work in astronomy, also carried out very important studies in the field of mathematics. And when you read about women more, you can always see that in the old history. In the past, they were always had obligations and obstacles for being with the same level of the man had, and I believe that still continue. It's not changed, and I hope that will change one day. But I lost my hope anyway. Mary Anning was a British fossil collector and paleontologist. She discovered dinosaur remains when she was only 10, 12 years old, and unearthed these remains as a whole. And she's considered to be one of the most important scientists in the world in this field. Sonja is a Russian mathematician. She made many original contributions to the field of analysis, differential equations, and mechanics. She is the first woman to receive the full professorship in Northern Europe. She is also one of the first women to work as an editor for the scientific journal. And Caroline Herschel. I will try to finish the names because it's keeping longer. And she is the first woman to win the Royal Astronomical Society's gold medal and became an honorary member of the Royal Astronomical Society. She has also been an honorary member of the Royal Irish Society. The King of the Prussia awarded Herschel a gold medal of science in the honor of the 19th birth. And Sophie German. And I want to just pass on this and continue with the women of this time. And Burçin Mutlu Pakdil, she is Turkish and she is recently working in USA. And she finished her bachelor in Turkey and then moved to USA for her research and continued master and doctoral, and started soon after that, started her research at initially in Arizona and then University of Chicago. She is the one who discovered the extreme different galaxy, and it's not similar to any galaxies. And she's the first woman, first person, first scientist who found this different galaxy. And she gives a lot of details about her work, how it's shaped, and she gave the new name for this galaxy named Fortune Galaxy. And coming up to the space architecture, when we talk about space architecture, many of the space architects, they know Kalina Balashowa. The first person who starts space architecture is a woman. And during the space race in the 1950s and 1960s, the task of designing the look of Soviet Union's booster rockets, orbital laboratories, space shuttles, and other masterworks of engineering fell to one woman, and she is Kalina Balashowa. For the budding architect in the midst of a militarized rush into space, the work was also a chance to bring the principle of the architecture into places it had never been before. And Balashowa continued working as a space architect for the Soviet space program up until 1991. And after her, a lot of you can find her other old project and drawing in space architecture at the given link. And to me, as one of the challenging women in science and space, I want to give more detail about what I challenged for and where I came to and how I came to here. You gave a short introduction. Thank you for that. I will give a little more details in that. I started education in very early age with the kind of force of my father, because of going to school with my brother, because they were always thinking that women should be protected by a man. So I went to school very early with my elder brother, who is 1 year older than me. Even my age was not ready for starting school. I was 5. I went to school because I needed to be protected by a man, as they told me. However, all education was passed with my brother until the secondary school, as I protected my brother all the time. These are the pictures I found in a time after secondary school. I left school. I didn't left school, and actually, my parents didn't want me to go to school. As they learned that from the culture and the territory that I live, women doesn't need education. They just can taken by a man, and they don't need money. They don't need the work and salary. They don't need anything because the man is looking after her. And as you know, that I started with started education with the protection of a man, but it didn't work. I protected my brother. And after that, they continued this idea, this mindset, and they took me from school. After secondary school, I was a prisoner at home, like around 3 years. And every year I asked permission for continued regular high school, but I couldn't success because I couldn't get the permission. And finally, in the fourth year, when I graduated in 12, I became like 15 and 16. I didn't want to take any permission because I understood that after 3 years and the year of 4, I understood that asking for permission is not working. So do what you want to do. So this is my message for every woman. You don't need to take permission. Just let them know. Even if they say whatever, don't listen. Just take it from this ear and leave it at the other ear. And these are the works I found among my papers. In the 3 years prisoner at home, I was drawing many pictures, and I tried to understand my background, my psychology in that time. I found these very scary pictures that a girl cleaning ground, because it was like this, just obeying to 6 of my brothers. I grew up among the 5 and 6 brothers, and every days we were just serving them, cleaning around, just cleaning what they make dirty. I was feeling like a prisoner, honestly, and I wanted to free myself, and I was still feeling like this. These are my feelings, and some messages from the high school and the high school time. After 4 years, I started high school. I was with the 0 level information about school. I forgot everything, but I start from beginning with the hard studying every day, very regular, with all the psychological war around me, because I was in a pressure of culture and people around me, always insulting that women cannot do anything. Why you're studying and why you are still insisting that you will do it. So, but I still keep doing things, drawing, working, and I finished one of the novel. When I read the novel that I finished in that time, I scared of my psychology, and I said, "What a horror novel I write! This is the horror novel I write in that time." And I scared my psychology. Honestly, I was very close to the time to end my life, but I started a new journey and sailed my ship to the sea to travel further. And after that, after I started university, far away from my hometown and family and culture and surround and all the relatives, all the gossipers and discussers. I started new things as keeping away myself from these all difficulties, just improving myself in everything. In the school of university, I got acceptance from University of Gaziantep. After even the last class, high school, I faced a bad earthquake in my hometown. We lived in a tent in 3 months, and that was the worst of time. But still, I was keeping studying for university exam, and I got that acceptance and continued my education in university, even though my family didn't want me to go out of my hometown, but I went. And after I just cut my rope from this place, I was feeling myself like when you blow a balloon, you can explode it, or if you release it from your hand, it will just fly around. I was feeling myself like this balloon, and I was blown a lot, and I was like almost expanded, almost exploded, but I then released, and I go on to right and left. I traveled all around the world. Initially started from Turkey. I did hitchhiking, camping, and I traveled many cities in Turkey, and then neighbor countries, and then the other countries. Until now, I traveled over 30 countries by myself. And this discovery made me more open-minded and understand other cultures and penetrate these all differences to myself, to see what else I can do. And after this all exploration on the Earth, I realized this aviation and space. I started for Turkish Airlines for pilot, being a pilot, and that switched my work, my challenge to the space architecture. It was the time that I switched to the space architecture, because aviation is not my main major, but it's my main major is design and architecture. I was thinking how to combine that, my enthusiasm in space and aviation, to the architecture that made me meet space architecture. And in that time of university, I was still very active in many groups and social groups. That one of the group that I traveled with many, no, it's like 100 students all around Europe, and giving awareness to other, and giving sharing our experiences, and encourage people to be the travelers and explorers on the Earth, because there are a lot of very nice, very amazing places that we have to see to understand the value of our Earth, to keep it clean, to keep it to stand longer. We are the killer of the Earth, and we can be the one who are keeping Earth clear and keeping it to serve us longer. And also, I was very active, still very active in volunteering and voice. We were volunteering in voice, and volunteering in TOG is social volunteers. We were running around Turkey with this group. Wherever the earthquake happened, wherever any disasters happened, where any problem happened, we were there to help people. And we were always visiting the old people shelters, women's shelters, and orphan shelters, to just give them smile, to just give them hope, to share our experiences, and tell them we came from this to here, so you can come from that to the other place, you can improve yourself. And then with this group of volunteers, we created a science team that named Stardust Squad, and it was a science team that we first started to learn more about science, and we had a lot of students who were with us, and developing many projects. They are learning coding, and learning programs. They are doing a lot of design, amazing, and they are 3D printing, and they were also joining a lot of programs and competitions, getting prizes. And with this initial science team, we made a smaller team named Outer Space Architect. And we just focused on the main Stardust Squad is still keeping try on general science in every title, and they are encouraging in different disciplinary. However, Outer Space Architect just focusing on the space architecture, and I'm leading the group. And with all the traveling and challenges, I just got a lot of I got chance to visit USA and joining these amazing programs. And first time I met all the space architects who I was in contact on email and LinkedIn. At first I met them face to face, and learning more how to improve in this field. I met astronauts, Simon Proctor, and these are the space architects in here. And I first time met the Professor Langston, my main mentor at George Washington University, he never saw me before, but he was always supporting me in the field of science to improve. And joining as a supporter to the as a volunteer and supporter at the Explore Mars and National Space Society in Washington D.C. helped me improve my network a lot. And after that, visiting to the SpaceX and having experience to Falcon 9's flight, and then visiting Johnson Space Center and also NASA and Kennedy Space Center in Florida. These were all encouraged me a lot. And at the Moon to Mars Festival in Space Center gave me more, one of the other chance to even present projects and meet my friends at the Think Orbital team, which I supported in the Space Hotel project. This is the ground control that was very exciting me when I first visited this. All the moon missions, all the Apollo programs had been controlled at this control center. And NASA gave me many opportunities to meet other astronauts and listen to their experiences, give my questions to them. And finally, I met Professor Banova at the Space Architecture Center of Sasakawa International Center at University of Houston. And also meeting the Jeff Huffman was amazing for me at MIT school. And at MIT school with the architecture department to meet architecture had officer Nicholas. Professor Nicholas was amazing for me. I want to just jump into some works and then finish this presentation. Firstly, I want to let you know that I am a regular architect for the Earth, and also I do support some space architecture projects. I will try to give some Earth projects and then to a space architecture project and then finish my presentation. This is one of the design I had done in my hometown, and these are all constructed projects. I focused on some villa projects initially at my career of architecture, and then developed it with different high volume of the projects, and then still keeping doing for the Earth and the space. This is one of the clients that require more Selçuk motifs, and he is the one who is admirer of this history of the Turkey. And then you can see this some visuals and the shapes that coming from this history, and some other village. Villa projects that I also work. This I named Up Down House. You can see it's like the roof is underground, the bottom of the house is the top, so I named it like that. And then same office project and hostel and hotel project I had done and constructed. After that, I jumped into the space architecture with the combination of the Earth architecture. And while I initially started with the Turkish Airlines pilot challenging. I was very focusing on aviation and space, and it made my mind with fully combined with the space. And then when I was sleeping, I don't talk about the dreaming, but I talk about dreaming of when I sleep. I was always seeing very weird spacecraft that I was designing in my dream. When I wake up, I draw it. And when I sleep back in the next day, I see the same thing and I see another detail of it. And each time I see another detail of it, and I draw back when I wake up. So these are these weird shapes just coming from my dreams that I just see some different spacecrafts that I'm doing. And now I want to talk about two important projects that I support in space architecture. Initially, I want to talk about Think Orbital. They are a company, a US-based company. They are working in different fields. and the initial project of them is Orb 2 Space Hotel, and I was at the design session, design group of them, and designing this Orb 2. This is a spherical shape made with pentagon and hexagons. When initially it's launched to the space, it's carry all the pieces with all the required pieces, and initially the hexagons are combined, and then lastly the pentagons are combined with the cleaves in the middle, and it became the hull. After that, pressurized empty vessel, and then interior pieces will settled for space tourists to come to visit, to stay at the space hotel. In the future, that will be possible. And you can see here that hexagons has the openings, but pentagons doesn't. You can see that here. Habitat module is here, and service module down. These are the radiators and solar panels is here, and docking part. The second project I want to talk about is had done with at the International Space University. I went there with the full support of International Space University itself, by a person that let her name secret. I didn't even know who were the real person who supported me for this project, for this course. And this course was a partnership with the School of Disruption, Swiss Institute for Disruptive Innovation. And we took initially some courses and learned a lot interdisciplinary courses, and then we developed a lot of different projects, and it was a kind of competition, and we award second prize in this competition, and we made Born Revolution. We named this project Revolution because it's focused on the artificial gravity here. At this project, we are designing habitats for 6 crew members for 6-7 months to the Mars, and then 2 Starship is serving this project, and one of it is cargo ship, and other one is habitat module, which just 6 astronauts is living. The cargo module is carrying tether system and the truss system with the middle central node, which is with the solar panels and radiators, etc. And I will give more detail about habitat module, but initially how it actually happens. From the Earth, 2 Starship are launched, but they are combined in the space. When they're combined, they are doing all the required rotation and maneuver, and when they're combined, they can have extension. With the extension of this tetherist and truss system is with the longevity according to the requirement of the Martial gravity. Actually, the artificial gravity will not be 1g, which is belong to the Earth, but we have thought to make it 1/3 Martial gravity to make it shorter. That will help our project more economical, and also the astronauts will have experience of Martial gravity in their living area. So when they arrive to the Mars, they will already have the experience of Martial gravity. And also, when you make it in Martial gravity, they also can have easier access for the EVA itself, because the middle part is shorter, according to if we made the 1G. However, we faced a lot of problems when we talk about artificial gravity. We directly face these things. This is Coriolis effects. There are a lot of Coriolis effect stuff, and we have to find a solution for that. If you really find I don't mean in this project we totally find the solutions, but it's still open source. Like it's still open research title for everyone to think and read and research about it and find a solution on that. If you really find all the solution against the Coriolis effect, you can be one of the maybe like a millionaire in your project to serve in many projects that will open the door of space. And because we feel need of artificial gravity, but we still didn't do that. Even we didn't try it. And here I want to talk about a few Coriolis effect. One of it's just Radial Coriolis, which is when you return it like that, you feel one side of it heavier. And the second is vertical Coriolis. When you walk at the same side of the rotation, you feel more heavy, and when you walk against the rotation, you feel lighter. And these all Coriolis effects feeling you're dizzy. And Radial Coriolis is one of them. When you threw something from top, it's not horizontally coming down. It's just making curves. And everything is like this. Everything is moving like that. So one of the other issue is centrifugal force. And this is affecting our at this habitat module, you have different feeling of G force from bottom to the top, because when you connect from the nose of the habitat, you have less gravity at this first point. When you go further, you have more gravity. If you have idea of Marshall gravity at this part, that will not be Marshall gravity at the nose. So we have designed accordingly. I will give more detail how we gave solutions for this kind of problems and Coriolis effect. And the motion sickness is actually pointed to your ears. See, as you know that you have a balancing system at the vestibular inertia, and it making you dizzy. Actually, when you walk, it sometimes happens on Earth as well. When you go very speed car, you turn your right or left head, you feel something, but in the space you feel heavier than this. When the rocket is going further and with rotation of artificial gravity, when you return your head right and left, you feel motion sickness, and it's the worst of the Coriolis effect. For this point, less G and more G, we have divided our habitat module according to the active and passive zones. The top point should be the most passive zones, so that we will not use this top point, so we don't get less gravity. We are intended to live in the Marshall gravity, which is mostly affected the bottom part. This part is very passive, actually, because not used. You can see here there is only airlock and docking facilities here with the Ava suites, etc. So it's not very active, but the active point starting from here. So after that, less active, and the least active point of the habitat area. And when we come to level 1, we have designed this area for research and medical area, because we will spend more time on research area. So and also it combined with the common area with spending time after work and for eating and activities, which is very combined with the other very important point, gym and home space. Home space is this sphere we have specially designed with the front piece the biggest window. So when we leave the Earth, we see the Earth from here. When we reach the Mars, our destination, we see the Mars from here in the wider view. The home sphere is the place where you can go inside and feel the Earth, because we are going to the further for the long mission, and when you go to Mars, you cannot come back in at least 2 years, as it's getting closer to the Earth for coming back. So in this long trip, you need something that help to heal your psychology, which is to feel Earth. We designed this for that you can go inside to feel the grasses, because we are covering it with the ground with the grass, the real grass, and to make people to hear the sound of the bird, to feel the wind, and to hear the sound of the wave of the sea, and these all emotional things. And also we will give that project will intending to give opportunity to crew members to connect family. However, even though the communication will be the longer to receive the answer, but it can be a future research how we can make it easier on time contact on Earth. And level 4 and 5 is serving for the sleeping area. As we are going to upper, we are reaching to the passive points, and sleeping is one of the passive activity, just you are sleeping. And the most passive point is cockpit, that is used at the launch time, and after that not very active used, except when you need the screens for other communication, etc. And these are the reference information that we're used. You can read and learn more. That's all about my presentation. I will stop sharing and open to the questions. I think almost 1 hour. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful presentation. I think now we can proceed towards our Q&A sessions. So if anybody have any other questions, you can start on your mic and ask a question to ma'am, or you can also write in the chat.
There's some question in the chat, actually. Maybe we can answer them until the others think their questions and write, or open the audio and say.
Yes, ma'am, sure. So in chat, we have one question. How many years it will take to transform Mars?
It's a very hard question, but Elon Musk says 2030s, which is not very believable. But if you logically think it's around maybe 2050s, after that, after 2050s can be possible. Actually, like the dates I say is like the first steps to the Mars, not fully terraforming, but like the first step and first tries. But as you know, that maybe the first crew will die there. It's very obvious. And Wadagama Hiroshini, she's asking about contact, and you can find me on LinkedIn. I am very active there. Just write my full name. You can find it very easy, or you can ask to the people at the Hexstar Universe. They can share you my LinkedIn or email. It doesn't matter. Yeah. If you have other questions, you can.
If anyone have any other questions, please feel free to ask me.
Yash is asking about something. You mean organization? You mean outer space architects? Perhaps. If you mean that, you can please just find me on the LinkedIn and just remind yourself we talk about that. And I want to just know a little more about you and share about what we do and etc. So that can help you, I believe. And yeah, hope it answers.
Well, Jahanu Badua has asked, what about space tourism? When do you think it will be accessible to common public?
Mm. Yeah, I think the one of the closest possibility for regular people to do is space tourism. Like astronauts and other people in space, they are visiting outer space for short-term or long-term missions in any program, but for the regular people, it's not very possible to like training and all the tests and education. Without this, they cannot possible to this mission. So the only possible things that will be only for very rich people initially is space tourism. So when do you think it will be accessible to common public? It's not very clear to a date for that. So it's still like when I was with the Think Orbital or to Space Hotel project, they're still thinking over like 2030s and 40s to have a possible first try of launch. Perhaps everything will be clear at the 2050s.
Thank you, ma'am. So, someone in our YouTube live session have asked how to start career in space architecture.
How to start?
Yes, I mean how to proceed in space architecture if someone wants to
Yes.
make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, there is no school of space architecture, and all the people and space architecture they are improve themselves by themselves, and especially you have to improve yourself more in engineering and other disciplinaries, because having only design and architectural skills using programs and stuff is not helping for space. Space is very complex, very difficult. So you have to have the multidisciplinary. You have to learn about astrophysics, astronomical things, and you have to learn about physics, and you have to know about engineering, mechanical things to be a real space architect in the making more realistic works. There are many works which are just like visuals, like concept projects, which are not answering many of the questions in the field of reality. So for starting, you have to start by yourself. And if you look for the schools, there is only master program. The only school of space architecture is University of Houston. Has the branch of Sasakawa International Center of Space Architecture. They have master program, and they are teaching a lot things to help you improve. And out of that, you can feed your knowledge from the AIAAs. They have space architecture programs sometimes, and also spacearchitect.org. You have resources, and also Sasako International Space Center of Space Architecture has their own papers and research papers, all their sources on their website. You can read this all and learn more about ISRO as well. So as you understood, so everything is up to you. And if you cannot, everyone cannot go to University of Houston for this program. So wherever you go, for instance, I go to Sapienza University of Rome. So I do my thesis research in the space architecture. I support my thesis with many of the mentors supporting me externally. So wherever you go, you can just focus on this by your research and developing on it. Yeah. I think that's all. I little extended my answer.
Thank you, ma'am. So someone, Erica Dona, have asked how to how to overcome obstacles like financial barriers to make career in space tech.
Would you please? I'm sorry for problem. Yeah, for financial points, it was a big challenge for me as well. Like I got acceptance from many universities. I couldn't solve my question. Is in the point of the financial, you have to be very active in researching to scholarship because there is no way actually for kind of like Turkey or India or other like Middle Asia, Middle East countries. Their money currency is very low according to the euro and dollar. So there is no way if you're not your father and parents are not very millionaire billionaire to serve your education out of the country. You have to find a scholarship. There is no other way, I believe. So I got over like 5-6 acceptance from different universities, but I went to university in Sapienza University in Rome because I was full funded with scholarship, with covering every expenses of life even. So you have to be very active in researching of scholarship. There is nothing else. I tried to fundraise. Maybe when you research about my name on the Google, you can see that I tried to fundraise for education, but I couldn't success. No one care about that, and because there are a lot of people trying to fundraise, and they cannot differentiate with who is right, who is wrong, who is really honest with that. So it's not working as well. So the point is just scholarship research. I advise to you. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Oh, someone asked my LinkedIn. I can right now share. Just a second. Can give the link. This is my LinkedIn. I'm very active there. You can every time text me. I can answer all the time. And someone asking about International Aeronautical Federation. Yeah, they're organizing a lot of programs all around the world. Lastly, in Minnesota, I would join, and they do in China and Dubai. I heard about that. So actually, they can make it in many places in a year. So the best best about how to apply, actually best thing is to visit their website. That will answer perhaps. And you have to submit your abstract on time so they can give opportunity to you for presenting your works and have opportunity to visit to wherever the program will happen. You can use this opportunity to visit USA and visit the other places where I presented at my presentation. That helped me a lot to improve. Teenagers. Oh yeah, for teenagers, honestly, that will be very nice to join groups. As you saw that at our social volunteer group, we created a science team. So the science team also had a branch of the teenagers and the youngers So we were like combined each other. We were mentoring them, even though we need mentors. We were mentored by the professors and the more experts people, but we are passing our experiences and everything that we learned from our older mentors to our youngers, and we became like their mentors and teaching them whenever, like when you're a group like Hexstar, you hear about something and you share to each other, and that make you easier to rise. So being one, you can do something faster when you are single only alone, but you can do more when you're a group. So when you're a group, you go slowly, but you reach many things. When you go alone, you go faster, but you cannot reach everything. So that's the point for you. I can say, join the teams and be active in the teams, do volunteering and learn from them. And one day when you grow up, you teach the younger. And teaching is the one of the best thing to improve. When you teach, you learn better. Yeah, is it okay just checking the chat box and answering the questions?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, Gary said that recommendation about regarding publishing and publishing research papers is, I can say about ResearchGate is very amazing platform, and academia, and the most important thing if you can contact any magazines and newspaper company at their country to be able to publish anything at the real papers, they will help you a lot. But if you want only the online one, you can try for ResearchGate and academia, etc. Yeah, I think that's all the question. I answer all the question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for answering all the questions and enriching us with this topic. I think every one of us here really helped, and it was a really informative session. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone for participating and joining us here today. It was, it is our time since it is 2:30 p.m. in India, so most of us are in schools and colleges. But thank you everyone for joining, and also thank you, ma'am, for helping us at this time.
I wonder, I wonder how many women are here. We're talking about women, so how many women are here, honestly?
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think with this, we can end our session here for today. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And it was a really good session.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this nice meeting. And I'm very happy for that to meet different people in different countries. And even though the women number is not equal, or it's still down all the time as always, but making man to know about this whole thing is more important for me.
Yeah,
because
that's a really good point.
Yeah,
I think we should all understand this.
Yeah, be aware of the power of women sometimes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It was our pleasure, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Say.
A question.
Say.
Can we join POSM Academy like without any charges? Like if we want to do astronaut training, study astronaut training from POSM Academy 5013C, can we join without money, or
your voice
they take charges?
Yeah. I don't know about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hello, ma'am. I have a question. May I?
Yeah.
So first, great session, great personality. Nice to meeting you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
And my question is, to do any research paper or to do research paper under professor is very important. So what are the different ways to perform these kind of research paper or these kind of work, so that we get a good career scope, good point of view for looking our future? So how to
Mm.
approach any professor or any guide? What do you
Mm.
suggest?
Yeah, I understand you. You know what I did in this point? I'm also on the same development. Like I'm trying to improve myself in this question. So I'm doing my master and I try to improve my thesis. So still we are on the same way. And what I do is I am aware of who are in this field. I know almost everyone in this field. So you have to be aware of that, whatever you're doing, whatever your major is. So you have to know who are in this field and what they do, what they have finished, and what they are intending to do. And so when you read about them, you can just simply go to their website and read their biography, how they improved. So you can follow their path even, and you can find their research paper at as I said. ResearchGate is one of the common where professionals they are sharing their works and academia as well, and also they're publishing as books. I don't know your field. Maybe you can research by your field and find some books. I have I just recently got this book from MIT professor. He gave me this one, and it included a lot of research. It's just thousands of research here, and as long as you read, you can find like gaps, what are open titles that you can research on that and improve it. Because just repeating same things which are researched before is like a boring thing for people to read back same things. So finding the gaps and finding right person. I just moved from my place to I'm studying in Italy. I left Italy and went to USA because I said I will continue my PhD. So I went to USA to meet people face to face. I just leave everything behind. I went there. I visited many schools and talked to professor face to face. I emailed thousands of emails and I said how I can reach them. They even don't answer my emails. So I tried first to find their assistant. When you find their assistants, you firstly email to assistant is better way to get any appointment, any Zoom meeting or any face-to-face meeting if you are there. So I always tell them, I am here, so I will be here for a short time. Please just give me face-to-face meeting. If you don't, so if they have really busy schedule, they finally gave me like Zoom meeting. Still, they helped me a lot. So for the acceptance and everything, they are one of when you get the awareness that you can introduce yourself, it helps you easier to be into the program, the research group, and because you know the person and you know what they did, what they finished, what they are intending to do. So if you have found any mutual point that you want to work on, that will affect them more in this way, I believe. Yeah, book name is Space Suite. Space Suite, Fashioning Apollo by the Professor Nicholas de Moncos. I can write it here.
Ma'am, is there any way to do astronaut training program or join astronaut citizen astronaut training program in online mode or paying without paying much charges?
Astronaut programs. You
Yes,
see?
ma'am. Like
Oh,
such organizations provide opportunities for to do join astronaut training programs like citizen astronauts like Posan Academy or so. So they take charges. So is there any website to do them or join them freely?
yeah, for
I mean,
astronaut
without paying much
programs,
charges.
honestly, you can just learn very initial things by those online programs, which is not charged. It's like giving you a piece of cake to let you just to know a piece of astronaut works and stuff, but they are not teaching total thing that you help you to improve your career in this. So as I said before, if you are you have a financial problem, find the program, find the scholarship. Yeah, that's the way. Or the program who are giving the program you can require. I got many supports from like even ISU supported, even the School of Disruption supported, and the other programs. I said I'm very serious in this thing. So I have this problem. It's very clear that I have this, but I need to improve myself. So I'm requiring support. If they just making discount or giving you full support, or they try to find someone who can support you, and if you find the external by yourself any support, but believe in me, the programs which are paid has more benefit. Or I don't know if you have something in your country. If you ask my country, like there is space camp. It's available in USA and also in Turkey. I don't know if it's available in your country. Maybe you can research about them. They can make something affordable for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, like Space for Humanity organization, they can take as intern. I have applied in it. So, it, an international student can they take like international students provide such opportunities.
Yes, that's great to say that. Actually, you remind me something. That's good idea, because one of the thing I do when I cannot take support, like financial support, I provide them that I can do this and this. I have these talents and skills. I use these programs. I do this and this. I previously did that. I introduce myself, and then I say that I cannot pay it. If you cannot support me financially, I can volunteer to you. So you can volunteer it to take something instead. Or like as you said, that internship is one of them. And if you get like any small support for financially in internship, that will help a lot. But if you're serious about it, but still that's a nice place, but you cannot get any financial support, still try to find the way for survive, but still do that internship that will rise you up for other step. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think everyone has asked their questions, and we have finished with our Q&A session. So before ending the session, I'd like to request everyone to turn on their camera once so that we can take a picture and for our memory purpose.
Okay. Nice to see you all.
Well, thank you, everyone. We have taken pictures. So I think with this we can end our session here. And also for the badge of this session, we will be providing the guide link here in the chat. So everyone, please take your badge from here.
Thank you.
Okay, so the